Top shaggers, how's it going? You join me on a very quick and impromptu solo camp in the woods. So I've been at work today and I've got to get up really early for work tomorrow, so it is literally a very quick solo camp. But I'm up at the new shelter, which I'm going to show you in the dark. Probably not the best idea, but we'll get some light on it. I'm just going to get this fire going. I've got all my kit squared away, laid out, good to go. I just wanted to get here, set up, squared away. It's not supposed to rain, so I'm going tarpless tonight. Plus I haven't actually figured out how I'm going to get my tarp squared away on the shelter yet. I foraged some chestnuts on the way in and a couple of seps. I got some chicken drumsticks to cook up. I got 2 beers to drink, so not a lot else is going to be happening, but thought I'd bring you along anyway. Nice bit of spruce. Where be thy axe? Just going to split this one down as my base for the fire. I've only got my small hatchet with me. It's pretty much my whales kit that I've got with me, just because it was still packed. So let's see if I can actually get this through this piece. Oh yeah. Oh, smells lovely. Don't think I've got any tinder prepared or anything, so it might just have to be a couple of feather sticks that get this going. Realistically, I've probably only got about 3 or 4 hours until I'll be in bed. As I say, a real quick one tonight. What I'll do is my feather sticks, them too. Bit more kindling. This one piece might do everything for me tonight. I'll keep a couple as big logs. Woo! I'll make some of this real small to go straight on the feather sticks. I know you've seen all this before, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm doing tonight. This is what you're getting. I kind of just wanted to show you the camp a little bit. I thought, why not just rush back up to the shelter, get a quick overnighter in, and then I've got to be up about 3:30, 4:45 for work, so be no major late ones. I don't normally drink on a school night too much either. That's why I've only got 2 beers. If there's one little tip I could give beginners when it comes to making feather sticks, don't just lay your knife flat and go straight down. I start at the tip, and as I push down, I try and use the whole length of the blade, and that's what actually makes it curl. Otherwise you just end up with loads of straight bits lifted on top of each other, and it never works quite so well. And it's really, really light on the blade. If you've got a sharp knife, you're barely even touching the wood. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the best at feather sticks by any means, but I can do them well enough to get by, which I'm happy with. Here's my 2 beers for this evening. I've got a Siren Thought Bubble Juicy IPA. What's that? 6%, flipping heck, didn't even realise that. And a Mad Squirrel Roadkill New England IPA, which is a 6.5. I didn't plan on bringing these 2, it's just what I had in the house. Okay, now the fire's on, I'll show you the shelter. Don't get your hopes up, it's nothing too special. But what is special about it is Ben's got a shelter right next to it, and our friend Elliot's got a shelter right next to it as well. Probably not the best thing to do, showing you in the dark, but here you are. Just got 3 walls and a bed. This is pretty much what I had at the subsurface shelter, but without being dug down. I started with these big ones over here, these big spruce logs. I wanted the raised bed high enough so I could use it as a seat as well. I've got some big chunky spruce at the back. There's only about 5 of them for the whole back wall. And then we've got some mixed wood at each end. Chopping block there. I've got my kit underneath, lantern on the go, and then the wall to Ben's shelter. Usual kit, same as the whale stuff. I've actually got my thermarest. I said I wouldn't bring it out of my bushcraft camps or whatever, but just because it was packed, it's there. Trekology pillow. I've got my thermarest pillow as well. Same again, CW300 bag, 95 basher. But we've got nice proper twine to go with it all. Everything's finished nice, everything's axed down, no sharp bits on there or nothing. Pretty happy with it. This is the winter camp, so we're going to be adding to it. We're going to be making some camp furniture. As I say, I haven't figured out my tarp situation yet. I'm going to have to build a frame that comes off here. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use the basher or the 3x3. I haven't decided yet. It kind of lends itself to the basher a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to wait until daytime and I've got a full day or two to finish that off. We've got hazel straights pinning everything together. Everything's nice and tight. Fairly straight. There's not too many gaps. There's a few gaps at the back, which I might end up filling in. I'm not sure yet. But it's going to be a lovely little spot for the winter. Raised bed is what I wanted really, so there you go. You're going to be seeing plenty of this camp over the autumn and the winter, so although you can't really see it that well in the dark, I just wanted to show you anyway. To be honest, this only took 2 days to build. Ben helped me with the big spruce logs at the back because they are proper chunkers and I was getting gassed out, so we just kind of took turns, and then I did the other 2 walls and the bed and the big sleepers at the front, which I really like. They're what gives the bed the height, but I really like the way you've got these 2 round pieces right at the front, which just kind of look pretty cool. And then I've got this big birch table slash crafting area. I don't know, I haven't really decided yet. I've just got my lantern up there. I really like it, I really like it. And then directly opposite me, El's finished his. He's gone for a lot smaller wood. Really nicely done. Raised bed in there as well. He's got the frame for his tarp already squared away and all that. Looking really well. With another wall onto Ben's camp. He's gone for the usual stretcher bed. He built himself a chair down here last time because they've been camping a few more times there than me. And he's got his frame squared away. Basically just a hollow square. Fireplace in the middle. Gonna be cosy. Shame I can't show you in the daytime, but as I say, you'll see plenty of it. I'm just going to wait for this fire to get down to embers, get some tea on, get my chicken drumsticks on. I've got some pesto pasta as well. And shout out to Lee Kidman. Anyone from Sheffield or the North recognise this? Henderson's. Leave it in the comments if you recognise this. You can see my back wall is slightly bigger than the side walls, and the reason for that is I can just sit on my bed as a chair and it's the perfect backrest. I can just see myself here after a few beers in the winter late at night watching that fire, falling asleep and then waking up in the middle of the night having to put myself to bed. Here's my bag of foraged chestnuts that I got on the way in. Plenty in there. I'm looking forward to roasting these up tonight. I think I'm going to start with this one. What's it saying? Doesn't taste like a 6%er. Very juicy, lovely tasting actually. Feels more like a session beer though. I bet you could put a few of them away and know about it. Change of plan as well. I'm back on the Altbergs and I'm going to be wearing the Altbergs for the 200-mile hike. It didn't really work out with the other boots, that's why I kept quiet about them. I just wanted to give them a proper test first. The glue started coming away on the soles when I was in Wales and my feet were wet pretty much the whole time. I know the trusty Altbergs never let me down, so that's what I'm sticking with. For anyone that's interested, these are the Defenders. I've worn them for years. Great pair of boots, made in England, nice brown leather. Look after them and they'll look after you. When it comes to my boots, I brush polish them the night before I go camping, and then I put another layer on in the morning. I don't bother brushing off or anything, don't need them polished up, shiny or anything like that out here. And the reason for polishing them the night before is just so that the leather can soak it all in during the night. And come the morning, they normally look like they need another layer. But once you've got loads of layers on there, the job just gets easier. And that's just how I look after them. Just brown boot polish, you can get it in Tesco or anything like that. I don't bother with dubbing or anything. The polish seems to just do it all. Chicken's on. Again, no messing about with grill hangers or anything. I've just put my grill straight on the coals. Drag some coals to the front and then I've just let some flames carry on burning at the back just for a little bit of warmth. Chicken's nearly there now. A little bit of hendos on there. Don't know if they call it hendos, but that's what I'm calling it. Chicken went down an absolute treat. You can never really go wrong with chicken drumsticks, though, can you? Big fan of the hendos. Really like that. Went really well with chicken, actually. So I'm just about to crack some of these chestnut shells off and get some of them on the grill for a bit. I can't remember the last time I had chestnuts. It's been years, I think. Of course, I didn't bring my gloves with me, so I've been using my fork to hold it and then just twisting them open with my knife. That's the only thing with burning spruce, it's a little bit spitty. Just because of the high resin content, you get loads of pops and crackles from it. It's kind of nice though. I'm sure there's a song to be sang here. I forgot how good these were, you know. Get out there and get some chestnuts, they're everywhere at the minute. I'll be stocking up again this weekend, I reckon. Might have a little fire in the garden at home or something. Roast a load up. To me it kind of just looks like a giant wooden sofa. But I'll take that, I'm happy with that. And a couple of bits I split down earlier, I think I'm going to save because it's actually made a nice little shelf there. And then on this side, I'm going to make a stretcher bed as well. And also I've left these longer, so if Catherine wants to stay out, I can add a few more bed slats on there, turn it into a double bed, cut a little hidden shelf out here, so I'll still get the nice round front, but I can put my beer on a flat surface there or something. It looks pretty cool. All done with these 3 tools, just my small hatchet, my York knife and my silky big boy. I didn't really know how I was going to go about filming this, but this is how it's turned out. I didn't know whether I was going to do a build series and bore you with loads of wood processing or what, but it's not really that difficult when you think about it. It's just loads of straight bits, which I use a small hatchet to cut all the little nibs off and stuff, get it nice and smooth, especially on the bed. For the times I do use the Thermarest here, I didn't want that getting pierced or anything. I mean, it has got protection underneath it. I've got my wool blanket as well on top of the One Tigris floor mat thing that I've been using. And the silver birch post has worked out really well. Ben and Elle brought that over here, just a job. But yeah, keep adding to it, get my tarp frame squared away. I'm leaning towards the basher just because it fits better. It's going to be a nice little snug winter camp in there. And worst case, if it does rain tonight, the wall at the back, I can just sling it over and peg it down. Ben's been busy as well. He finished off the walls in between the setups. Plenty more furniture. I'm going to build a log store. We're going to build a sawhorse. A few bits and bobs, just add to it as we go along. And for the cordage, we've just used like a Hessian twine. And Ben's got some pine pitch made up that we're going to finish the knots off with. All my hazel stakes are chamfered off with my knife. I think the plan as well is to make another bed, so we've got 4, and that'll just fill the hollow square. Cheers for all the kind comments on the Wales trip as well, by the way. And it's just something I do want to point out. I don't know if some of you think that I'm rich or I've got loads of money to keep doing all this sort of stuff. I just kind of wanted to explain why I've done like a couple of the HelloFresh adverts and that. Basically, that whole Wales trip was paid for by doing a HelloFresh advert. And that's the reason that I do it now and again. It's just because I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got bills to pay, just like you. I'm not rich by any means, I've still got to work full time and all that. So every now and again, it's nice to just be able to do something that offers me the chance and the money to do a Wales trip like that. You know, my fuel, my food, everything was paid for by that. It brings fresh adventures to you as well. It brings fresh adventures to me, which to me is the most important thing. I know it sucks and it's not going to be a regular thing, I promise. But every now and again, you know, if you see one, it means that something good's coming or I've got some stuff to pay for. And everyone that's donated to my charity link so far for my 200-mile hike next month, I know I keep going on about it, but really appreciate that. The total's starting to creep up a little bit now. From the bottom of my heart, big love to you. Morning. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I ended up falling asleep laying on my bed last night. Full 12-hour day at work today. Cheers for chilling with me last night. Catch you in a bit.